What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of College Esports Insider. I got my little honey with me today. I figured I had to open this one a little funny, Um, but
Oh, that's
who I am. Who are you, sir? Who are you today, Pake?
my name is Pake. I am the co-president of Niner Esports, the collegiate esports program at UNC Charlotte, which was originally run by this man Jorge over here before me.
Best club ever. Who said that?
Nah, CECC apparently.
CACC said, "Hey, technically, Esports Awards said it last year because we were the only club nominated."
Yeah, they did. Not this
Oh.
year though. Wham wham.
Yeah, they changed up a little bit, but we won't talk about that.
We'll
So,
talk. We'll talk about that.
talk to me about your background in gaming. How'd you get started in gaming first? Let's talk about that.
Oh man, specifically remember it's like me, like everybody else. Well, not a lot of people in my generation. Like
Mhm,
my mom got me like a Nintendo DS way back when.
mhm.
Then that turned into a Wii. But I remember what got me into like hardcore gaming was my dad got me a PS3, and then he at first I hardly touched it. So it was like one of those things where my dad got himself a gift through me, and he played a lot of Call of Duty. He played Black Ops 1, and I remember sitting there watching him play, and I'm like, I'm gonna try. I tried
My
it.
personal favorite.
Yeah, I tried it. And then he got, which is now my personal favorite COD, Black Ops 2. And then I no-lifed that through middle school. Like,
Objectively, the best COD ever made.
oh yeah, no one can change my mind on that. I miss Black Ops 2 so much. My roommate tried to get me to buy it on my laptop recently,
Mm.
but I just know my laptop can't run that crap.
Dude, I have it on Steam. It's kind of fire. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's crazy. They have this thing called Plutonium, and it's like dedicated servers for Black Ops 2. They like fixed up a whole bunch of like the PC port crap, so it plays like console. It's kind of fire.
You see how much I'm missing for not being a PC gamer?
Dude,
I'm stuck on console right now because yeah, it's just a lot more affordable for me right now. But
I
I'm
mean,
missing so much.
accessibility.
Accessibility.
So what got you started in esports? What was the interest there? Like, what what's your background there?
I remember I got like I was very heavy into like Overwatch for a while, and I started watching the Overwatch League during COVID because what else better did you have to do? Like I remember, rest in peace. I remember I was be sitting at work like in my car during break just watching Overwatch League games. And then when COVID ended and we all came back to school, I found Niner Esports and just joined it, and it went from there. Yeah, it all started with the Overwatch League. Rest in peace, as you just said.
Who's your favorite OWL team?
I hate to say it, but I was an Atlanta Reign fan.
Face
I was a
Clan.
Reign fan. No, Reign. Atlanta
Yeah,
Reign.
yeah, they're
Oh,
owned by
that was
Face.
Reign? Yeah, Atlanta. Yep, duh.
They're owned by Phase. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a weird deal that they have going on, but it's like a
yeah.
secondary company that's still technically Phase, but it isn't. But that secondary company owns Atlanta Reign, and then it owns Atlanta Phase for the Call of Duty League.
I feel like I'm unlucky when it comes to picking teams for just any sort of sport, whether it be esports or whatever. As soon as I like say I'm a fan of that team doesn't do well.
Listen, man, I was writing for my Houston Outlaws for a while because that used to be Optic, but not anymore.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That makes a lot more sense now, considering the team colors.
Well, the story goes that Hector Hex he made the logo for that team. Like he had that logo in the back pocket just for a while and never used it for anything. And then when the opportunity came in for Optic to join WL, that's where Houston Outlaws came out.
Such a fire logo, though. How did they not capitalize on that before?
I mean, they did when they had the team, and then the whole thing happened where like Optic sold and got rebought and sold again. And that was the whole thing, and through that, I think they lost the access to the Houston Outlaws. But now Optic is the Dallas team. Whenever that it's Dallas Fuel, yeah.
Yeah, fuel.
Um, that's what Optic owns now because of the NV. So, although I guess not anymore now that the OWL is dead. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
They just had like the last finals in Toronto. I heard a couple people from college esports were out there, and that was a fun time. But how do you feel that OWL is dead?
It's sad to me because it feels more like it wasn't the decision of, the actual people who run it. It just felt like a corporate decision. And that's
Mhm.
what I hate the most because you know how many people put their heart and souls into that stuff. Because it's not just the players, like it's the community of people who like the people who put it all together. Also, I say for one, I still want to see. I think his name is Uber. That caster. That
Mhm.
man needs work. That man needs work. He's amazing. But yeah, it's honestly just sad to see it go. Not because of anything that they did, but because some big corporate dude in a tuxedo was like, you know what? We're done. We're saving money.
No, I think we saw a couple months ago, and this is going out as long as I'm on schedule still. This is going out Friday the 6th, Friday, October 6th, 2023.
Spooky
Um,
season.
yeah, and just a disclaimer: the first two episodes with Christine and with Kevin from University of Hawaii, those were filmed in January, and I just
Wow.
never put them out. So, but they're still kind of relevant because we did talk about the Esports Awards a lot.
Yeah.
So, that's also decided to put them out. So, anyway,
Hawaii got
happy
nominated
episode.
again, so congrats to them.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
shout
making
out to
it
University of Hawaii. I mean, I heard that through the nomination, their school approved for them to get a second esports lab. I think is what I saw. Uh,
sick.
and it's supposed to be like a bigger and better one than what they had now. I think what they had now is like a janitor's closet, basically, kind of like what every school basically gets.
Are they
So
varsity or are
they
they?
are. I don't think they do scholarships for athletes, if I remember correctly, but I think they are like. I think they're like full sale. If you know, like they're
Okay.
like they operate kind of like that, where like yeah, they support competitive, but I don't think they fully like scholarship athletes. I think they just support them in every other way.
Okay.
Um, and then I think they have like arenas to do events. They have like an esports major. They have a minor. Sky. Do you remember Sky?
Sky. No, I don't remember Sky.
No, he was. You remember Kevin from University of Hawaii, right?
Yeah, yeah, I remember Kevin.
You remember the guy that he was
Oh,
with like the
Sky.
long
Okay,
hair?
yes, now I
Yep.
remember. That was like
So
a year
Sky.
ago from now.
Yep. Sky has a PhD, so Sky teaches esports.
Oh, that's crazy.
Shout out to Scott, man, love that guy. But no, he's really good people's, and he did his PhD. I believe he did his dissertation in esports as well. Um, and like I think it was the Valley of College Esports. I'll have to go back and look at his LinkedIn, but I think he did his dissertation in college esports. But that guy's heavily connected. He knows what he's doing. He teaches, and he runs. He's a director of the program as well, so he's doing it right. And yeah, I don't think they're varsity, but I think they are fully school supported in every other way besides scholarships. I don't know if that counts as varsity or not. It's a school program. It's not a varsity athletic program.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense though. Honestly, sounds like a smart way to do it too, because I know athletics here is a whole can of worms.
I mean, yeah, there's like a big split with programs and kind of how they run between athletics and then like putting them on like when they're like student affairs, rec and wellness, that sort of thing. And there's like benefits and downsides to each of them. I mean, you see programs like Full Sail or like Shenandoah even, right?
Yeah,
They're very much focused on like the academics, the events, the student development. They still have like a pretty good competition standpoint, like they're still very competitive. But they're not like a Maryville or like a Winthrop that fall under
yeah,
athletics, and their whole spiel is to be hyper competitive, making sure that they what's it called? That they like get the best of the best talent in the country to come out and compete for them in these titles. Like that's not them. So I feel like there's a big split with that. And I'd
yeah,
be curious because I don't know if there's any top competitive program that does not fall under athletics within the top 10. So I'd be curious to look at that like data and see who falls where. Because I'm pretty sure even if you look at the top 5 college esports programs, when you talk about like Maryville, Winthrop, Northwood, even I think Northwood falls under athletics as well.
I mean,
Oh,
it does make a lot of sense considering the word sport is in it, and it's ran very similarly to sports programs. So it makes
right.
it makes a lot of sense. Just makes you wonder where the focus goes. Like if you're like for example, how we've been going through student affairs mostly.
Mm-hmm.
If you go through student affairs, where does like the where does the focus go from the school itself, like from the institution?
It's interesting because it really depends. Like for us, I know that administration, the big thing that they wanted to do was not only support like student life within campus by like getting the student retention on campus,
You're talking about
Uh,
Converse.
hmm?
You're talking about Converse now, right?
I'm talking about UNCC right now.
Okay, you're talking
Commerce
about
is
UNC.
yeah, no, Commerce is athletics, so Commerce is focused on competition more than
Okay,
anything.
okay. Yeah.
And I'll touch on that in a little bit. But with UNCC, like I know that administration is very much focused on with esports, bringing esports on. And it's like making sure that students are on campus, that students are retained on campus, that students are having activities to do on campus, as well as being supported in their interests. Right.
Yeah.
And that's through both a hobby, a competition, a academic, and a professional standpoint. Students are supported through there. That's what administration basically wants at
Yeah,
UNCC.
naturally.
And in my opinion, and this is no hate to even the school that I'm at now, I think that's the right way to do it. I think that if you're going to support esports, I think you should look at it objectively through the lens of everything that a college offers, because I think that a college isn't just competition, a college isn't just academics, and a college isn't just events. I feel like there's a big mix of things, and with something as versatile as esports, you should be supporting all four pillars that matter.
And I'd agree with you because you have to think, so a college has like thousands of students in the student body. Uh, how many of them are actually going to be able to compete, right? Like there's only so many students who one want to compete, two will actually be good enough to compete. But
Hmm.
if you want to be able to cater to everybody, have everybody follow under that umbrella, then you need to be able to provide something for literally everyone. That's why I enjoy our land so much.
It could land like the land that UNC Charlotte puts on is a big testament to the fact of what college esports is. Because if you think about it, like it combines everything. We have people out there just for casual gaming. We have people participating in tournaments who are kind of getting their feet wet into what esports is, but aren't like really like competing. If that makes sense, they're just there for a
Yeah.
fun activity to win a prize.
The
We
worst that can happen is you lose, you get knocked out the bracket, that's it. You didn't pay for entry, you
yeah.
didn't do anything like that. You don't lose anything. And it's not like yeah, there's streamed stuff, but like if you're in like regular pools or something, you're not going to get embarrassed for losing over it. And even it's still and it's a casual environment, so you shouldn't get embarrassed anyway.
Yeah. The other part of it is we're making a student event in general. Like it's a student run event for students by students. So students are actively learning, they're participating, but they're also learning like valuable skills that they could apply to their majors or to their future ones. And thing boys that they wouldn't even think about. I mean, think about like I'm gonna throw an example out there. Who can I name drop? Who we name dropping today?
Who we name dropping
Yeah,
today?
who we name dropping?
uh
I'll put Mia on the spot because Mia feels like is a good proponent to this because she's studying art, right?
yeah.
And like
Yeah, she's a graphic design student.
yeah, so like to her, this is very much valuable because she's building her portfolio. She's building her
Mhm.
like things. She's getting new skills. She's getting connections in the gaming world and kids. That's an avenue that she wants to take professionally. She she's probably ending up going to the Esports Awards with us to like get all that done. So at that point, she's gonna get to meet some of these like big company executives as well as esports teams people, and it's a good proponent of that, and even just at the LAN itself, she's there supporting it. She's learning the skill of like on-demand graphic designing, on-demand
Yeah.
marketing, partnerships, proposals with us working through eConnect, and that's the whole thing. Where now she's learning how to keep up with sponsored deliverables, partnerships, that sort of thing. She's running her team, so now she's also learning leadership skills. Um,
Yeah. And another thing that I want to add to that is like it's a lot of times I've noticed that when you're doing graphic design, I'm an engineering student, so I can only say so much this, but from graphic design majors that I've known, getting your work out there to get looked at is very difficult. This space I feel like makes it so much easier because, for example, she gives us a graphic, we put it on social media, like instant feedback. Like I feel like this space not only gives her an outlet to do that work, it also gives her very quick feedback and very quick exposure with that work.
it gives students platforms that the other ones wouldn't have had. And I think
Yeah,
that's the best way to put that.
yeah. And because she's a graphic design major, how much of like marketing stuff has she
Yeah.
known before? Like now she has to make sure that people are getting pictures during events and stuff properly. Which, considering unfortunately she tested positive for COVID before the LAN, so she couldn't go. But even like from her computer, she did a fantastic job running that team. Yeah, everyone was on top of it. Everybody was getting what they needed.
It's a pretty good lane in my opinion.
I'm
Um
glad you think so.
Or even someone like you, I think even like indirectly, it's kind of affecting you. It's helping you with the leadership skills. You know, you want to work in kind of like the theme park and entertainment
Yeah.
industry. And I think in that regard, it's also helping you kind of figure out people's interests as they get
Yeah.
into what, what entertains people, what doesn't entertain people, what like in a theme park or an event situation do you need to have in order to retain people. I feel like it's some of the skills that you need that you otherwise probably wouldn't have had through your major, especially when
Yeah.
to like go just on roller coasters and that sort of thing.
And another thing that I want to like connect to that is I'm also learning a lot about like user experience. So like I'm putting on an event for somebody. How does that person feel about doing it?
Mhm.
What is fun to them? What keeps them coming back? What makes the experience valuable to them? So that's another thing that I can apply from here to when I start designing theme parks, or at least hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hope-
No,
Hopefully,
I
my
think,
resume is weird.
dude, it's weird. I have like an engineering resume and then I have an esports resume.
Yep,
And
that's me too. We had a career fair here at UNCC like 2 weeks ago,
mhm.
and I had to print out both of them because there's literally a section on my resume, like my engineering resume, that says that I'm a part of Niner Esports, but it says basically if you want to know more, see the esports resume. And then I'd have to staple the esports resume to the engineering
There
resume.
you go.
And I wonder how lightly is an engineering company going to take that? Are they going to look at that and be like, just crumble it up and throw it away? Esports? What is this?
Some people combine both because also you can do is kind of swing your esports experience to what would be relevant to what your employer wants.
Yeah,
And that's a little more difficult to do for a career fair because you're talking to so many different companies. But
yeah,
if you know you have like a specific person that you're or a specific company that you're a recruiter that you're applying for, you know how to you can kind of swing that a little better in order to like tell a different narrative based on what you're trying to accomplish there.
yeah. But I'm at the point right now where like I'm kind of looking for anything in that world.
That's
So
fair.
I guess anything. Also, the school has like uh, resources on resume building,
Hmm.
and they all say keep your resumes to one page. The amount of stuff I've done in esports plus everything else I've done in school, too much for one page. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna separate the two.
You know what I did is I split off a page into two columns, like two sides. Like I almost split it down the middle.
Oh, that's
And then now I have like tiny font. Like I'm using like not tiny font, but I'm using smaller font in order to get like both columns completely filled out with stuff. So I don't
that's
have any like white space.
that's super smart.
Just real estate,
I
man.
might have to do that.
You
Yeah, no,
eliminate a
that's
lot of white space that way.
yeah, that's super smart.
I'll send you a
The only thing
template.
I'd be worried about is how small is the text. Are we looking at
It's not
magnifying
that
glass?
small. It's not that small. No, I printed it out and it's pretty legible.
Yeah, that's good. I
Um,
would actually have to do that. That's smart.
I'll send you a template. But moving on from this stuff, let's talk about some spicy takes. College Esports Awards, also known as the Scholars. Let's
Uh-huh.
go. Let's go category by category. And I want to get.
Category by category?
We're gonna go band for band with all these
Huh.
schools.
Oh god. Okay, I need to pull this up on my end too. Hold on.
Just go to scholarsawards.com/vote, and you'll get all the categories. We're gonna go line for line. Do you need the link or you got it?
I think I got it.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna start reading off some of the stuff with the scholars really
Yeah, go
quickly.
ahead. I'll catch up with you in a second.
So first category that we have is the big boy, the one that's going to be presented in the main ceremony, allegedly, and I'll get why allegedly in a second. But this is the one that recognizes university programs that have esports that integrate esports into their to the whatever may be athletics or student life or rec and well or student affairs or even academics or IT. I know some schools do IT, but it's a collegiate program and I'm really emphasizing this for a second that I'll get to
Yeah.
in a way. No hate to any of these schools, by the way. I'm just objectively looking at what the award stands for because we weren't nominated for Collegiate Program of the Year this year
Yeah.
because of those little nuance.
Yeah.
Even though we asked for
Yeah.
votes for it, and then we should have gotten nominated based on the fact that we got the other nominations.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
but let's run through some of these nominees. University of Oklahoma, they are indeed a program that's they also work with Epic. They're one of the other schools that got the Epic map. Like
Oh, really? Okay.
they got the Hardpoint map.
Oh, okay. So
That
that
was
was that the one that G used?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
that was originally for Oklahoma, if I remember correctly. I think it was Oklahoma and Ohio State, or it was Oklahoma and somebody else, maybe
Okay.
Michigan. But Oklahoma, I think, had that map, so they're very much doing well. They compete varsity. I believe they offer scholarships for varsity teams. They have a brand new gaming center that they just opened over the summer. That's Moog, the director Moog. I don't remember his actual name. I think
I'm
he's
just gonna say this outright. There's a bunch of programs up here that I don't know a lot about, but I will mention when I get to I already have a guess as to who I think is gonna win this one.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a guess.
I think everybody does. Yeah.
I already have
There's
a guess.
UT Austin. I'm honestly not too familiar with them.
Yeah, no, UT Austin. I'm like, I didn't know y'all's program was that big. But if it is, congratulations. No, like
I'm
to get recognized for this award is pretty massive.
they're I don't know. They had Austin. Coincidentally, one of their coordinators was named Austin, so there's that.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's still there or not, but he did build esports there, and I think he was the coordinator of it for a little bit. But I don't know if he's still doing that. Last time I checked, Longhorn Gaming. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find their anything right now. It's proving a little
Anything,
difficult.
anything.
I was trying to find their Twitter. Is what I was trying to find.
I wish
They
the
do
Esports
have
Awards would, instead of putting like the school's like official logo or seal there, I wish they would put like the program's stuff up
that's
there.
something that a lot of people complained about. Is they should have put their esports logos on there, or at least the school's logo. But instead, they
Like,
ended up putting whatever the heck
even
that is. The
even last
school,
year when we were there, they didn't put this, which is the logo we were toting. They were putting the C.
the C, and then we had to yell at them because we were gonna get yelled at otherwise.
Yep.
Longhorn Gaming, they have an esports center on campus that is sponsored by Alienware. That's the title sponsor. So,
Impressive.
um, if I had to guess, they probably got that pre-COVID when budgets were still there. Because
Yeah,
otherwise,
probably,
I
but
don't know, man.
I don't know. Yeah, that
But
probably.
they're doing a lot of. It seems like a lot of student stuff. UT unions. What's the university unions? I don't know. Seems like a school supported club program is what it seems like. Kind of like
Okay, so similar
UNC
to
fraternity.
Hawaii.
That's what it looks like, at least to me.
So
Going
similar to
oh
Hawaii, like we were talking about earlier.
yeah, a little bit like that. Going forward, UC San Diego. I think they're also school supported program the same way that Hawaii is.
Yeah.
That's about everything I've heard. A lot of the UCs are like that. Like you have UC Berkeley here. I think they're the same way. Michigan I found interesting, and that's
Michigan, yeah.
because last year Michigan was just a club, a non-school supported club. They just became supported as of the summer, I believe.
If that's the
Um,
case, then congrats.
congrats to them for getting like moving up esports, and all that. I know that this was something that even like their director now, Kevin Palmer, was talking about, but based on that fact, they shouldn't have gotten that nomination for Program of the Year and instead gone for Club of the Year. Um,
Yeah,
but I also think that Esports Awards might be trying to get some big name schools in here, like D1
that's what it
schools.
seems like.
Um, I mean, no hate to Michigan. Like y'all are doing amazing things. Shout out to Caden and shout out to Kevin Palmer. And I'm set to have a podcast conversation like this with Caden soon, so I'll get his thoughts on it. Maybe he knows more than I do. As far as I know, to the public eye, the club at Michigan was just a club up until very recently. So them getting a program of the year is a little bit interesting to me. But I mean, shout out. I guess you still got the
Yeah,
recognition.
no, you earned the nomination for a reason.
Yeah,
So
like you
yeah,
obviously
like
deserve to be up there. I think that it should have been club of the year instead of program of the year, but that's just me.
I,
Um,
yeah.
I might be wrong, but and when I talk to Kate, and we'll figure that out.
And then the
Uh,
next one's the given, right?
yep.
Maryville, I love you guys, but it's like y'all are like default. Y'all get everything. We know.
Maryville's default and everything in this, bro. Like
We know everything. Y'all are there. Like CCC, y'all are there. NECC, y'all are there. We know. Like
Maryville's everywhere
and,
in
like
college esports,
we're
man.
good. and for very, very, very good reason, right? They're like the leading people in collegiate esports in the country, maybe even the world. Like I think they're setting the blueprint for what we should all strive for. But at the same time, in this context, it's like, duh, of course they're going to
Yeah,
be
I would have been surprised if they weren't there, and that's a point that I'm gonna get to later with another school after we finish this, because there's one school that's missing in this, that I think should have been put in over like a Michigan or one of the UCs or the UTA.
If you want
Um,
my honest opinion, I think Maryville's taking it. I think Maryville's winning this. I
I would
think
be
they're doing
surprised
this
if they
point.
didn't.
Yeah, I think Maryville's winning this. And
So,
obviously for good reason. But it's like y'all are leaps and bounds above everybody else in terms of like quality, in terms of school support. You guys are at this point a professional esports association with it that just happens to be based in a college campus.
I mean, it's sponsored by McDonald's, sponsored by Under Armour. Like, it doesn't get better
Yeah.
than that. I think Under Armour might be an athletic sponsor, so I'm not gonna speak too much on that one. But the McDonald's one is pretty cool. They have their own
Yeah.
McDonald's meal in the app, bro. Like, it doesn't get better than that.
Really?
They do. If you go to St. Louis, and there's a couple different McDonald's there that you can go get the Maryville Esports meal.
Okay, so you don't make it until you get an esports meal at a McDonald's.
They have an esports meal on the McDonald apps in St. Louis, Missouri. So
It's amazing. Now I'm
shout
just
out
thinking
to
about, remember at CECC in Texas, the McDonald's PC that they gave
yeah,
away?
that was fire,
That
bro.
was that was fire. And then they
Um,
had the McDonald's like French fry box Xboxes.
they did a really good job with the branding on TCC.
You
I'll
know,
say that much.
they cooked with that branding. That's a bad pun. Anyway,
Shout out to Chris Postel.
yeah. But yeah, no,
um,
Maryville has got this, and I'm saying this is no disrespect to any of them because they are leaps and bounds above everybody else.
St. Clair College, our first 2-year school, program of the year. St. Clair, I think, deserves to be there out of the fact that they're a top competitive school. They have some top talent. I would put them in the top 10.
Yeah, I was about to say I see them
Competition.
like I see them in brackets everywhere, like in like getting top 8 and everything. Like it's these guys are.
All I'm
It's
gonna
one of those things
say
where
is we
go ahead.
took the iRacing natty off of them. That's all I'm gonna say.
Brockton, you're a goat. Anyway,
We took the iRacing national championship off of St. Clair. They got it the time before us, and then we came in the next year and said we gonna take it.
racing capital of the freaking world, baby.
We needed it, man. We were second. We were second the first season that we competed. We were second, and then the second season we said, "No, we need the natty, bro," and we got it. So no, but shout out to St. Clair. They got some amazing stuff going on. They have a huge, I think it was like a 10,000 square foot esports center. So they're very much school supported. They're our school program. I don't know if they fall under athletic. I know how Canada schools works because they're Canadian. I think that's a little
Yeah,
bit different. I don't know where they
no,
fall within their school, but I know that they also do offer esports academically. They offer esports events. They support the local esports scene in Canada, not even just like in the province that they're in, but just everywhere in the country. They have like events specifically for like high schoolers in there, and like to really support the K through 12 initiative. And then
see,
um,
that's what I think differentiates them from most of the stuff up here, right? Like they're not just like we're our city, we're our province. No, they're like we're all of Canada at this point.
yeah, St. Clair's leading the charge on Canada, man. Like it's insane, and I feel like that's something that we're missing in the U.S. because we have bits and pieces of it everywhere. Like for example, like Maryville, when you think competition, that's Maryville. When you think of academics, that's like Shenandoah. When you think
Yeah,
of events, that's like a Full Sail. So it's
yeah.
like it's all scattered. We don't have anyone like we don't have schools that are kind of like building all these pillars all at the same time and like succeeding in them. We have schools for succeeding on one or two of them, but not like it's scattered all over the way. And with St. Clair, like in Canada, I feel like they're succeeding on all of them.
That sounds
Um,
like such an American thing, though, doesn't it? Where it's like, oh, we're doing good in this. Let's put all our chips in this basket.
yup. I mean,
Feels very American
don't get me
compared.
started, bro.
To,
Moving on to the next school, Boise State University, program of the year. Very well deserved in my opinion. I think they're a
yeah.
school that they're competitive. They're about up to top 16. Competitive school. They're always up there in like the quarters and the semifinals and a couple different things. They're very big into broadcasting. They have a huge broadcasting like center. They have a huge broadcasting program, and kind of like their very big focus is professional development, and I really respect that.
Yeah.
And that whether
Good
that
me
be
for
through like their broadcasting stuff, their events, they put on a lot of events for like the local. I think they're in Idaho. Um, they put on a lot of events for their state, like K through 12 league and their state K through 12 initiatives. So they're very much professional, like development focused.
Yeah.
And shout out to them. I think they deserve that nomination.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a good yeah, they 100%, deserve
Shout out
that.
to
Also,
Dot.
apologies for any, like, sniffles I have. I'm getting over a cold.
Hey, it's all good, man.
Yeah, I probably should have said that near the beginning, but it is what it is now.
It is what it is. Now we got UST, University of St. Thomas. They're just competitive. They're top
Yeah,
four and everything. Like there's not much more to say there. They're like the same thing as Maryville. They're just there to compete and like
yeah, that's one where it's like, I feel like if my teams were to come up against them, like, "You guys are practicing, right?"
Pace University. I'm not too familiar with them. I mean I know they have their director Jesse. That's really about it. I don't know what they have going on, so I can't really speak too much on them.
Yeah, neither can I.
F-
Congratulations for the nomination, it's the most I can
yeah.
say about them.
Fisher College. Fun times.
Competitive. That's a competitive one.
That's another hyper competitive.
Yeah, that's
So
all competition on that one.
7 teams in every game. Just you know.
7? Wait, this was something I didn't know. They have 7
Well,
teams in every game?
no, I'm exaggerating a little bit. They have between 4 to
Okay,
7 teams, 4 to 7 teams in every game that they have right now, except for Call
okay.
of Duty. I think they only have 1 Call of Duty team.
When
Um,
my when the new, league managers for us in Charlotte were like, "Hey, we wanna do 4 league teams this year," I'm like, "4? Really? Because we usually do 2 on everything."
yeah, and that's kind of. I think that's how it should be. I think you shouldn't spread out your talent. I think you should very much condense it, and then that's just my personal belief. I think condensing talent and putting out the best product it can be is way better than providing quantity. In Fisher College's case, they have money to blow, so
Yeah.
we don't.
Yeah, no, we don't. I told them, like, if you believe in that team, then I'll let you have it, but if I see your performance isn't doing well, I'm probably not gonna let you do 4 again.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I'm just like, I'm gonna have faith in you guys. I'm gonna have faith in you guys.
that's a lot of work to keep up 4 teams. Let alone like they have 7 Overwatch teams. That's where I got the 7 number from.
Can I tell you
Um,
about how it's already, like, bit them in the butt for CLOL? With the, registrar thing, the eligibility form has to get stamped, by the registrar after it's been signed by
yep,
every teammate, and so that's 4 teams with 5 players and a sub. 6 players, 4 teams.
24, 24 people. The registrar had to go
24
through
people.
24 people.
And he texts me and goes, "I have to get this signed by every student for every team." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yep."
And now imagine being a Fisher College that has that many players.
They probably have a specific person that specifically does that.
They're brought on a couple more staff this year, so
Yeah, no, that's we were talking about colleges putting all their chips in one basket. They put every chip they had into competition.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's working out for them. You know,
Yeah, it's
they're
working out.
yeah. So moving on, Illinois State University, the Redbirds. They have a pretty nice esports center that they opened up about I think a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Top 4, or I'd say top 8 in a couple different games. Their big one being Overwatch. They've always been like a top contender in Overwatch.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, they hired a new Overwatch coach over the summer, and that's a 60K a year position just for a full time Overwatch coach. So
Wow.
they're very invested
I didn't
into
know that
esports.
kind
The
of
school's
money.
very much.
This is probably because I've been in club my entirety in esports. I didn't know there was that much money that could go into a single position in esports.
There is. It's just not usually a head coach for a college esports team. So
Yeah.
they're special in that way. They're putting on a lot of resources for their students for competition. They host events. They were one of the other schools that got a Fortnite map. They did a I forget what they did. They did one. I forget. They did some type of Fortnite map. I forget what it was. They might have had the zone control one, not our control, but like a zone wars or some crap like that. I forget. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But they're one of the other Fortnite schools. And
I just love
lastly,
Hawaii.
Hawaii, last year's winner. Uh, honestly. I'm kind of rooting for Hawaii here. I'm gonna be honest with
No,
you. That's just me.
if it were me, I would want Hawaii to win. I
I
would want
want them to
Hawaii.
get the two-peat, bro. Like I
Yeah,
think they
good to
deserve it.
beat.
That's just me.
Yeah, I think they
Um,
deserve it.
Working with professional Overwatch leagues, they fly out pro players to go talk to their students. They place their students in internships. They just recently did like an internship program with like Gen G and a couple other esports teams. They sent students out to like Korea, Japan, Singapore. Like it doesn't get better than that. They stay competitive. They're still top. I think, in my opinion, they're like they place in some games top 15 ish. So they're not that bad and shabby. Like they're pretty good at like Valorant. They're pretty good at Call of Duty. They're pretty good at, I think, Overwatch is another big one for them. Um, they have like industry professionals come out to their school to talk to their players, to talk to their teams, to talk to their staff. Um, I can't say enough good things about Hawaii, dude. Like
Hawaii
they're
is Hawaii is what I think happens when a school properly applies their academic side to esports. They saw this is the future and were like, okay, let's do what we can with it. And now, like you said, they're flying people out, getting internships all over the planet.
mhm.
I think if you apply the academics correctly to it, this is the type of program you get. So yeah, I'm with you. I think they deserve a second one. Just
No,
good luck,
that's
good luck fighting Maryville for this one, in my opinion.
now one that I want to touch on a little bit that is missing here in Northwood. There was no Northwood, dude.
Yeah, no, that's surprising. How I wonder because they got nominated last year, so I
Because
wonder what
here's the
changed.
thing, right? Maryville has like the best concentration of talent when it comes to esports, but Northwood is the winningest program in college
Yeah,
esports. They have the most championships out of anybody, and they have international championships as well. So it's that sort of thing where like, where are they at? And is
yeah.
they
Where are they? Yeah, no, that's crazy to
they
me.
won CDAW
How
last year, so it's like they're there, like they competitively they're there. They have an esports major, I believe. But I don't know too much about it to speak on it. Cody's a great guy, their director. I've been having conversations with him on and off, and he's pretty motivated, pretty talented. So I don't know. I would have put Michigan down at the Club of the Year category, and I would have put Northwood up there. That's just me though.
yeah, no, I think I can agree with that.
Let's
However,
fly
I
by.
personally don't know a lot about Michigan other than I guess the basics. So
Yeah. Flying by through some of these other categories. Conference of the Year, who do you think's winning that? Because I think if it's not NECC or NACE and it's any of the other ones, they're tripping. Um,
yeah, I think it's going to be NAC.
I think NACE wins that. I think that
Yeah, I think.
they have NECC, NAC, the Midwest, the Mountain West Conference, College COD, CCA, which is the Rocket League stuff, College League of Legends CLO, and then the Midwest Esports Conference. I haven't heard of Midwest and I haven't heard of the Mountain West, so can't speak on those. College COD is kind of dead now, so good for them for the nomination, but all that staff
Yeah,
got fired, so
yeah,
tough.
yeah,
Uh,
that's tough.
CCA runs like CRO and all that stuff, but I don't know. In my opinion, if you're talking about conference of the year, we're looking at NCC or NACE.
I think the only thing that NECC is being held back on now is that, and I understand that it's the new like system that they're using, their League OS.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing holding them back right now because I can only say this from someone who's had to use the platform to register. I can't say this. I can't speak for everyone working on the platform. There's a lot of wrinkles that you need to iron out with that, but I'm
Okay.
sure they've heard that 500 times already. So I don't want to compound on anything that they've already heard. Also, I didn't come on this podcast to complain. So
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man.
yeah, no,
Program director of the year. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I also am new to, I've only been co-president for for 5 months now. It's been since like June, right?
Ish.
So I can only say so much
Yeah.
about about competitive conferences because NECC's been around for a while, so they obviously deserve it. But I think they deserve the nomination. But I think NACE is taking it.
I agree. Program director of the year. Who do you think is taking that? I see some good names in there. Now, something that was curious about this is Christine from MSI got the nomination there instead of the
Yeah,
Global Impact Award. And the way
Yeah.
they justified that is that she runs technically a collegiate program, even though it's not like a college program, it's a collegiate program like that supports collegiate.
It's an interesting one.
So that's why they put Christine in there is the only thing I can think of. But other than that, everybody else there's a varsity director.
Yeah.
Um Obviously you got Doc from Mike Aguilar's from Oklahoma, Doc's from Boise, Travis Yang's Wichita,
I see you,
Sir
Sergio.
Shout out to Sergio, I love Sergio. From UMD, representing the hometown Maryland, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I see you, Sergio. Of
uh
course, he's in there.
yeah, Dan Clerk from
Oh, Maryville.
Maryville, Cody from Northwood, so there's a Northwood there.
There's a Northwood in there. Yeah, there you
Uh
go.
Jono from Fair State. Fair State's doing a lot with academics and esports. So I'll speak on that a little bit later because they got institution of the year. Um, Jesse from Pace, which, like I said, I don't know much about, so I can't speak there. And then we
Yeah.
have our favorite person ever, Christine Fan.
Yeah. No, Christine, we love you.
We love Christine.
We love you, Christine.
Who do you think's taking this though?
That's a
That's a
so
lot
the
of heavy
problem.
hitters.
Yeah, that's a lot of heavy hitters. Uh, I really don't know, honestly. I honestly like. I don't want to say Clarkey for the same reason I said Maryville for Program of the Year. Uh, I think I think Cody and Jono actually do have are good competition for Clarkey, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Who
I'd
do I
love for
think is gonna
Christine to
win?
win, but I'd love for Christine to win. I hope she wins, but we shall see.
I think objectively speaking, it's gonna be Sergio, Cody, Jono, or Christine. I think those four is where I'm putting my. If I had to put my money in any one of them, it would be one of those four. Just because they're doing great things, they're always
Yeah,
there. They're always passionate. They're always spreading their resources and their knowledge. And I had a call with Jono not too long ago, and the guy, God knows what he's doing, man. Like,
yeah,
and he's really kind soul, really passionate about what he does. And you can tell in how he runs his program with that. And along with that, like I said earlier, Cody does amazing things with Northwood. Christine is a beacon of light for club teams
absolutely, absolutely.
in general. So honestly, if you really wanna justify the program director for Christine, she's a director of every single club because
Yeah, yeah.
the way she
Christine, we love you.
yeah. And Sergio I think just objectively deserves it for all that he does for like he's done from Maryland, all like the stuff that he speaks out about with like the inclusion of esports, underprivileged and HBCUs and you know, just getting people involved that or normally wouldn't be involved. I think Serge is a good proponent of that.
You know, this one's super hard. Like, I feel like this is I think this is one of the categories where I feel like I can see any of them winning.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the public vote in the panel.
Yeah.
Moving on though, Club of the Year
Oh yeah.
got
This
some
one.
good schools in here, man. I mean,
I see
nothing to really
Boise
complain
got
about.
this one. Got nominated for this one too.
Yeah, here's a couple things though that I like. Boise nominated for Club of the Year. Like, I imagine they have a club. However, I feel like with the club integration into the university program,
Yeah.
I find it hard to justify that, man. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, this is no hate, Doc. This is no hate to you. This is no hate to anyone from Boise. But in my opinion, I'm not putting a Boise up here, especially with like how integrated they are with their program. I don't hear anything about Boise's club ever. I'm sorry. I'm as someone who is pretty integrated into the space. I'd like to think I'd never hear anything about Boise's club. It's always about the program.
Yeah.
I might be wrong there, but whatever. Other than that, Illini Esports, they're pretty good. University of Illinois, they're I think we go toe to toe with them in a lot of ways. With our
Yeah.
club at Charlotte, they also put on like 300 to 400 event or 300 400 people events, for their title events. I don't think they
Okay.
do it as often as we do. I think that's where we have the leg up, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but that said, they still know how to get a crowd. They
Yeah.
have a lot of
No,
students
that's
supporting them. I think they're also university supported, but I might be wrong there. I'm not quite sure. I just know that they have a web page on the school's website and we don't.
yeah. Yeah. So that's
That's the
congrats to that because I feel like we've tried that.
We've tried that before. The school doesn't
Yeah,
like
we've
us enough
tried
to
them.
put us on our
Yeah,
website. But they do, if you go to esports.illinois.edu, they do indeed have a web page on their school's website that I have put up right here. So I'm not just BSing you.
no, theirs is an edu. Ours is an org.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is I'm not gonna,
I'm not gonna scoff at Illinois.
but they do have esports academics apparently, so it is a school supported like initiative. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Um, I'm fine with them being on nominated for Club of the Year, though. I mean, they do the work. Shout out to AJ. He beat me out for President of the Year. I'm a little salty about that.
Oh yeah.
I got run up for that. No, I'm just
Yeah.
playing.
Run it back.
Run it back. Hey, Student Leader of the Year. We'll get to that in a second. Run it back,
Yeah, we're getting
AJ.
there in a second.
Run
Run
it
it back.
back,
Run it back.
AJ.
Run it back, AJ.
Trident Gaming, UCSD, this is what I was talking about. UC San Diego getting both a Club of the Year as well as a Program of the Year is crazy, dog. It's the
That's
same thing as
crazy.
Boise. Why?
That's crazy. It's like how has this happened twice?
like Trident Gaming, like I said, UC San Diego, much rather Club of the Year than Program of the Year. Because are they a school-supported program? Yes, but they're a club. They're not a varsity program, dude.
Yeah.
Put them at Club of the
Yeah,
Year and call it a day. There's actual school-supported programs that I think deserve the nomination over clubs. I'm sorry, that's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I'm with you on that one. And I say this as a president.
Exactly. Niner Esports at UNC Charlotte. I mean, nothing more to say about that. Picks up. We got some news coming. Pake, you don't know about this yet, but I want to get a reaction. But we're thinking about putting out the news October 26th, around that day.
The news of okay. Yeah.
It hasn't been put out. I checked the news yesterday. I went scouring the internet. Nobody's talking about it, so we're still in the clear. We're planning a press conference for around that week, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after. But October 26th is the target date. So stay tuned for more news.
Oh
But
yes.
other than that,
Like on one hand, I'm super excited for that. On the other, it's like I'm gonna graduate by the time this is done.
Well,
by the time I can use this.
How do you think I feel? I got the money for it, dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you probably feel worse. Well, you're trying to get like program director here if it happens.
I'm trying to get back in UNC Charlotte. Let me back in. But consistently hosting 400-person events 4 times a semester, teams top 30 or better with national
4 times a year.
What else can we say about the Niner Esports? 600 students signed up on the platform. However, we have over 20 some hundred in the Discord. So there's that. Consistently getting schools to show up. Consistently getting students on staff. We have over 50 students on staff.
We are working with other scholastic entities in the Charlotte area, whether it be high schools such as Cannon School, as well as we've been in talks with Discovery Place as well. We've done 2 things with them already. We plan on doing more. So yeah, we're trying to become more than just a UNC Charlotte thing and more of a Charlotte thing. Like just trying to expand more. I thought my Discord froze for a second. I was about to freak out.
Kevin sucks.
Kevin?
Yeah, about Esports Awards. We'll see if we get some money. Anyway, moving forward with that though is we're doing a lot for the space. I feel like we get students we got students placed in internships. That's the other part of it.
Oh, yeah.
We got 2 students now who are doing professional internships within gaming and esports. So we've started doing that. We got more on the way, and actually we have 3 now, technically speaking. Mia just got something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, no club is as well-rounded as us, in my opinion. I feel like we do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
In terms of academics and professional development, we kind of tie that in together, and when we teach students how to use their skills in their majors to apply into esports and vice versa. I feel like we have pretty competitive teams down to like having a top team in the nation with iRacing. We
I just want to hammer down. Everything we do is student run. We are all students. There is hardly a soul in this club that is not a student. Like at least in the leadership department.
Yeah, that's the thing you gotta understand too with us is we've only seen money twice coming in from the school. Once was to go to the Esports Awards last year, which was about half the money that we needed to go, and the other half we fundraised it. And
Yeah.
then the other time was when we went to CECC. We got money from student affairs to go there. But other than that, like we get the same resources as every other club on campus, which is just like event grants that we get that are like $2,500.
Yeah.
For anyone who knows anything about lands, that's pretty hard budget. Like,
Yeah.
it's a
No, and
pretty hard budget.
I just think to myself, like, every other club on this campus could do something similar to what we do on lands, right? Like, minus the Uconnect stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I say this because I'm thinking about it because my roommate's part of this one. Culinary Club could rent out the same room that we use. They could pull an event grant. They could get like resources that they need from outside stuff, and they could hold events just the same size if they applied themselves hard enough. Like we have to figure out what can everybody do and how can we push it further because that's all we got.
Yeah, so I think that if you look objectively at what club has done the most with the least, I think that's us. Just saying. University of Arizona Wildcat Gaming Club. They're pretty competitive. They have some top teams, and they definitely are good in that regard. I don't know much else about what they do, but I mean, I think they deserve a nomination.
Yeah, no, you got top teams in your club program. You deserve to be in there, full
Yeah.
send.
Same thing with next three actually entries. Cook Esports, which is University of Houston. CU Gaming, which is UC Boulder, and then Gator Gaming, which is University of Florida. Top teams, all doing amazing things. CU Boulder, I think, does some small events for their student body, and I think Gator Gaming does some pretty big events. I think 100, 200 people. So like I said, three of those schools, same thing. Top teams competing against varsity programs toe to toe. Like you deserve to be up there.
I'm also
Um,
going to throw this out there out of nowhere. That the Florida one, y'all's logo is awesome. Yeah, that logo is super cool.
And that last one is Sooners Esports, University of Oklahoma. Um, I don't know much about the club aspect of what Oklahoma does, so I can't really speak too much on it. However, in terms of club of the year standpoint, I'm going back to the same thing with Boise and with UC San Diego. Are you a program of the year or are you a club of the year? I
Yeah,
feel like there's got to be a distinction there, dude.
if you're gonna make this distinction, stick to it.
Yeah.
I for
Uh,
one think it's crazy to. It almost feels like it feels like it's a dual-edged sword to me because on one hand, we as a club got nominated for Program of the Year last year.
mhm.
So from that perspective, it does feel like the divide kind of makes it uh almost like you're discounting the efforts of clubs, but at the same time, it is giving more lens to more clubs. So I see the benefits of doing that. So if you're gonna make the distinction, stay with it.
Yeah. Player of the year. We can,
I don't know a lot about it. I don't know
well,
any.
all I'm gonna say is five of these players are from Boise State, so
Yeah,
there's that aspect of it. They got five players up on board for that, which is pretty cool. Just I would have liked to see a little bit more. How do I say this? Diversity. I feel like there's a lot of female players out there that are doing great things. Cody from Lawrence Tech is one of them. Racer Alicia from University of Minnesota, like she's doing great things in COD as well. Um, there's a lot of female players. There's a lot of Valorant female players that are as well doing great things. Same thing that I would have liked to see a little more diversity in terms of race here, but other than that, shout out to Boise for getting five players on the board.
yeah, no, yeah, that's big.
Tournament organizer of the year. I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand back to the conference of the year. I feel like NECC and AACE for this one shouldn't get the run though because they're more conference than tournaments. I think
Yeah,
if you're looking objectively at tournaments, I think CECC is one
yeah,
that's good. Community, they run HBCU tournaments. I feel like that's another one that would be a good one there.
yeah.
Boise, they do tournaments for high schools and that sort of stuff, as well as like in-house tournaments. I guess. I mean, it goes back to the same standard of us getting line of the year, which I'll touch on a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm giving this one to like CCC probably,
Yeah,
to be honest.
I'd say CECC. I
Or
don't think
community.
Campus Clutch is I don't think, for example, I think Campus Clutch matches the, I'm gonna say level that
I'm gonna just
CECC.
say it, man. Like spicy take. Campus Clutch is terrible. I'm sorry, it's ranked terribly. It's like I know those people. And listen, here's the thing. I made him cough. Listen, here's the thing with Campus Clutch. It's like seeding was done terribly. Why are we using face at levels on Valorant to do seeding instead of ranks or like
Wait,
VLR?
what? Wait. I didn't know about that. What?
They're
Why?
seeding through with face at levels, bro. Like the face it rank system. That's how they seeded
Doesn't even
teams.
make any sense.
And I'm sorry, what Valorant teams are playing face at tournaments, dog? Nobody. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't even, I've never even heard of a Face It Valorant tournament. I didn't even know that was a thing.
like, and this is no hate to face it, man. I mean, like Mel, like one of our students, she's part of the people who's running the face it Valorant stuff. And like they do like weekly like pickups with like pickup games. They do weekly tents, right? So
Yeah.
you can sign up as a team within your university. You can sign up with a pickup team, whatever it may be. That's like their collegiate stuff that they do weekly. But like, why are we using Valorant ranks on Faceit for Red Bull Campus Clutch seating, bro? It doesn't make
Yeah, no,
sense.
that, and yeah, no disrespect to Face It. I worked with them. They're wonderful.
They're a wonderful company. There's no hate to
They're
Faceit.
wonderful.
There's more
They're
hate
wonderful.
to
It just doesn't make sense how you're using singular tournament ranks rather than the overall games ranking system.
like. I'm not hating on Faceit right now. I'm hating on Red Bull Campus Clutch is what I'm hating on.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
why,
I didn't know
dog? Like,
that. I didn't know about that. That's hilarious.
and then on top of that, not allowing international students to compete until Daniel Clerk throws a fit on Twitter. Like,
Ooh, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
like not allowing
I
international
forgot
students.
about
You
that.
know how many international students come to the US to compete and you're not letting them, but you're letting Canada do it.
Yeah, no, there's the double standard right there.
You're letting every region do it except for the US, knowing
Yeah,
that we
no,
have probably the most international students that come to this country to study, dog. It's like, why?
yeah, that's
Why?
crazy.
It's
That's crazy.
so many little nuances in this that I just don't understand. Like it's been ran terribly for, like, do they deserve a nomination? I could go either or. They're the biggest Valorant tournament of the fall, so like objectively through that regard, sure. Do I think that they're deserving of being up there with the greats of like CACC or Community, CCA, College Co? I don't think they match up in the quality. I'm sorry. That's just
Yeah,
what it is.
crazy.
That's my rant for the day.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Team of the year. We don't know who some of these. Actually, I can find out because I got a shortlist nomination thing. Give me 1 second. I can tell you
I
exactly.
mean, I know one.
It's just because it's specific teams instead of like programs. If
Yeah,
that makes sense.
to the program. And it's
So
just like Maryville University, Fisher College what? Maryville University what? Like at least when it gets to Boise State, it's like Boise State
I'll tell
Overwatch.
you in a second because there was a press release about this and they actually put it out, at least for some of them. Maryville did not get told which team it was, as far as I understand. So it's either their Valorant, their Overwatch, their League of Legends, or their
What did I
Rocket
say
League.
about default? What did I say about default?
If I had to guess, it's probably their League of Legends because Maryville for a while was the only school that had a League of Legends team that was consistently competing against pros and winning, or at least like contending.
Yeah.
So if I had to give it to any one of Maryville's teams, it's probably their League of Legends.
But what did you say earlier about default?
Yeah, Maryville's
Y'all
always
get
there.
it. It's like y'all get it. You're always there. For good reason. You're always
yeah.
there.
Fisher College, apparently that was there.
Can I guess Valorant?
Nope, never mind. Doesn't tell me either.
Oh no, it doesn't? Okay.
That's
I was gonna
Valorant.
Yeah, I was guessing Valorant.
I would put the Valorant team in there. They had a pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that team with Chloric and Toonsy. Anyway, that team was stacked.
Yeah, for real.
Redbirds Esports. I imagine that's their Overwatch. With Illinois.
Yeah, no, that would make the most sense.
It doesn't.
That would
say,
make.
though.
I would imagine it's Overwatch. I don't see it being any other teams.
Boise
That's no
State.
disrespect to any other teams. Boise State says it's Overwatch.
Boise State Overwatch is crazy because they were top 16. They were losing like quarterfinals and semifinals, which no hate to them. However, if you're talking about team of the year that can't win a championship, not that they can't, but that they weren't able to contend for a championship because there was just team. You have Maryville in there. I'm sorry, like it's just
Yeah, you got Maryville and you got Maryville in there.
I mean, you have Maryville and Redbird, and that there was no winning that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I think a lot of people said that. Um, Niner
My
Esports
iRacing boys.
iRacing, best team in the nation.
iRacing boys.
Best team in the nation for iRacing. That's objectively, if you go look at our statistics, we are by points the best iRacing team in the nation, whether that be on the Collegiate iRacing League or NASCAR. So, and NASCAR themselves have told us that we are indeed the best iRacing team.
Listen, these guys put in the work. I love them so much.
Shout out to Brockton, first of all, actually, because he brought this
For
whole thing
real.
together.
No, this man is the real god when it comes to this stuff.
Packard is a GOAT, but then shout out to Tucker Minter, shout out to Garrett Lowe, shout out to Clint Haltman, shout out to who else did we have? We had so many people run through that team, but it was just like they're all amazing people. They're all very passionate about what they do, and at the end of the day, they got a national championship last year. They deserved it, and I think this team of the year. I'm sorry, it's there.
I think it's so poetic that the racing capital of the world would have some of the best iRacing sim drivers I've ever seen. And not only that, like you mentioned passion. These guys are passionate about NASCAR outside of the sim, let alone inside of the sim. Like these guys put in the work, and I love them for it.
Moving on, Northwood University. That's for Call of Duty. Oh no, it's for Valorant. What?
Oh, it's Valorant.
That's the site says Valorant, but the article release, I believe, says Call of Duty. Let's see. Yeah, the article release says Call of Duty, but the site now says Valorant, which I think is interesting because when they first announced it, they said Call of Duty, and their Call of Duty does deserve it. Well, their Valorant also deserves it, though. Their Valorant's like international champions and national champions. So
what? Okay, they need to fix that. Which one is it?
Figure out which team it is because Call of Duty is national champions as well as Valorant is national champions. So either or would work. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, either way, y'all got it.
UST, they're League of Legends, and they won CeeLo last year, I believe. So very deserving, in my opinion. There's nothing to really argue there. They've had dominant performance in their Utah Pack. I have no idea what team.
Nope, no idea.
It's so real. I know Utah does some cool things with competition, but I don't know. Winthrop, I thought was interesting because like Winthrop objectively has good teams, but out of all their teams that got announced, you know which one it is? I'm gonna give you a second.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give you a hint. It's not one that you would expect.
Oh, so I was gonna guess like Overwatch.
Nope. They don't even have Overwatch. No, Winthrop last year had Valorant and League of Legends, and they had Smash. Out of those three, which one do you think it got the award nomination?
Smash. You said it was one I wouldn't expect. Smash.
My boy CJ is winning, bro. Hey, they went out to CCC and they did an amazing job. Hey, and then
that's right.
Yeah, man, like their Smash team is they're stacked.
Yeah, those guys are kicking butt out there.
Those guys are crazy. I think the only other team that contends against them is Fisher's Smash team. So, and Fisher has actual pros signed. So,
yeah,
you know, shout out to CJ and his boys because they're out there killing it, man. They're out there killing it. Moving on, commercial partner of the year. If MSI doesn't get that, I'm rioting, dog.
I say this whilst wearing an esports gear hoodie. MSI deserves this one wholeheartedly.
Not that esports gear. I love the guys at esports gear. Tommy, I love you. Like,
no, I've actually like met you guys. You guys are the nicest people ever. Your products are amazing. I have like 5 of them in my closet over there. That weird light behind me.
No hate towards any of these people, but MSI, Christine does above and beyond to make sure that all these club programs have what they need. Sits down, does one-on-ones with people for their resume, professional development, always posting job application stuff, holding workshops. Like, it doesn't get better than that, dog. No other company in this listing is doing what Christine does for the scene.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. Not to mention, like, just, for example, you say, like, the support stuff, like, from my experience, support stuff from LANs, like, whole, like, entire tables full of laptops.
Like, MSI sends us laptops to send us merch every single one consistently. And if nothing else, we have MSI stuff there every single time.
Yes, it's they've stuck around the longest, and yeah, they deserve it. I think more than all of them.
Collegiate Student Leader of the Year. All I'm gonna say on that one is two
I'm
things.
clicking my
Boise,
vote right now. I'm
Boise,
clicking the very familiar face right now.
Boise got two nominations there, which I thought was interesting. Logan Lewis is not even a student. He is a esports coordinator, like full time employee for Akron. So he's not even a student to begin with. Um, AJ Taylor is, I think, the only other person that I'll accept winning this award other than me. I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. Um,
My perspective, right? And I'm not trying to gas you up or anything like that. This whole the whole like state budget thing. If I can't, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
yeah,
That by itself is massive. But then on top of that, when I joined this club, I knew nothing about it. And now here it is. It's brought me to Vegas. It's brought me to Texas. It's got me multiple jobs. Why? Because you did the legwork that no one else did, or anyone else probably knew to do. Like, you knew where all this stuff, you knew where to get all this stuff. I wouldn't have known where to start with any of that.
all I'm saying is there are some students in here that are very deserving. Um, Bryce from Griffin Esports, like he runs their operations pretty well. Aspiring college esports director, same thing as me. Uh, AJ Taylor, like I said, great guy. He runs that Illinois program very well. He knows what he's doing. He's gotten in advance pretty well. Kyle Wachowski from Fair State with like Jono and them. He runs their like head coach. He's their head coach as a student. So great things. All I'm saying is, though, is no student is out there getting their school money for esports, getting their schools partnerships for esports, getting their
Yeah.
students placed in internships, running events by themselves, because I did do that at a certain point.
Yeah, that was before my time. Yeah, I remember that.
What else? You know, um, I do everything. Designing the merch for the club, dude,
Exhibit A.
that was me, dog.
Exhibit A. This
All I'm
thing is
saying is, I
awesome.
had a part in any single aspect down to social media, the little single tweets that this program had put out. And all
Yeah.
I'm saying is, I don't think any other student leader is doing that.
You know, I'm not just saying all this because I know you. I'm not just saying all this because I'm talking to you right now. No, like, even like if I take away the whole esports thing, you've changed the trajectory of my life because of all the esports crap you know. So
I appreciate that.
thank you.
No, but on a real note, all I'm gonna say is, I feel like, in terms of a student leader and club leader standpoint, not to, I'm already sounding cocky as it is because I'm just sitting here boasting. I'm being so honest here, bro. Like, and this is something that I have a gripe with a lot of the clubs that come on here, and this is a conversation I'm gonna have with a couple of the club leaders that are gonna come on here. Is I feel like a lot of club leaders stay stagnant in what they do, and they kind of see that their school isn't going to support them, or they don't get support from the public, whatever it may be, and they just stay there. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna run that way. I think that like Claire, I think is her name, Zumi from Drexel. She's another one that I think she thinks like me, and the fact that like if there's not a way for it, you gotta pave it. And I feel like a lot of
Mhm.
club leaders aren't doing that, and that's something that within the 2 years that I led Niner Esports, that's something that I very much set out to do because I wanted to make sure the school was, yeah, her name is Claire. I got it right. Boom. Uh I think
Winning.
that winning. No, she's amazing. But in terms of like paving the way, like I feel like I'm one of the only people, maybe a handful of people, that is on their nominated wise that actually has been able to surpass any sort of complications to accomplish things. And y'all will see that announcement on October 26th. Pake alluded something about a state budget. All I'm saying is no other student is getting on their
Yeah.
state's legislature to give them money for something.
Yeah, no, for
Um,
real. Like, I don't know if I've said this to you before or not. When you were graduating and I'm running for president, do you know how scared I was to have to fill your shoes?
hey man, you'll be alright.
There's two of us now because we had to fill your shoes. There's one for each shoe.
All I'm saying is though, like Esports Awards, listen, panel, listen.
Yeah, no, listen.
No other club leader is paving the way. No other club leader has put their whole out for this stuff like I have. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to win the award, man. Moving on
Might
from
be slightly biased because I know you and all that stuff, but still.
yeah, there's indeed a lot of bias. Um, Institution of the year. This goes back to my whole program of the year. I want to go quickly because we're like at an hour 10. This is probably one of the longer episodes, but screw it.
Yeah, screw it.
Institution of the year. All I'm gonna say is like some of the institutions here, like Fair State, for example, which are supporting academics pretty heavily with esports. They just opened up like a brand new esports center just for like teaching like broadcasting, as well as brought in Adam Antor as a faculty, full-time faculty to teach esports management and broadcasting. No institution is doing stuff like that. I think Fair State is very deserving of that nomination, maybe even the award. USC, not too familiar with what they do, I'm gonna be honest. UST Boise, that goes back to my whole rant of club, program, institution, decide one. And if it's gonna
Yeah.
be one, it's going to have to be program for those two. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be programmed.
UCF. I don't know. I know that they have a pretty competitive club. I feel like that would have been a club of the year, not an institution of the year for me.
Yeah.
UCF has like top Valorant teams constantly in the top 10. So
Yeah, well.
and same with a couple other teams. UC Irvine, I support that as institution of the year. That is the first, I believe, one of, if not the first, institutions that went full in with esports. And they consistently keep doing that. If you go look at like the earliest articles about college esports, it's all UC Irvine for a reason.
Yeah.
They're the first school with an esports center, I'm pretty sure, like a fully fleshed out esports center. They absolutely deserve every nomination there. Northwood University, cool they got the nomination. Personally, would have put them at program of the year instead of institution. Just because like yeah, they're supporting some academics, but I feel like most of their bread and butter comes from the program, not the
Yeah.
institution itself.
Like I said, it's the conversation again of like putting all the chips in the basket. Like I feel like Northwood is one of those schools where it's mostly competition over all else.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, they are welcome to correct me, please.
Illinois Wesleyan, I don't know too much. The director's Cora. I heard she does great things. Like she's passionate about her students and the way that they kind of interact with the program.
Can I say something off topic
Go
about
ahead.
I my jaw dropped for a second because of my brain's automatic response. So in my hometown of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, there is a
Yeah.
private school by the name of Wesleyan College.
Oh Lord.
I saw the Wesleyan, I'm like, what? No, it's not. Okay. My brain read the Wesleyan first. I'm like, there's no shot.
A random little school in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, institution of the year for the Esports Awards.
Yeah,
Bam.
Rocky Mount, North Carolina, of all places.
Oh, that's funny.
No disrespect to Illinois Wesleyan, y'all are up here for a reason. But
Yeah, so
that was just my stupid brain working weirdly.
I don't know too much about that, but you know, shout out to them for the nomination. I'm sure you guys are deserving, and I've heard nothing but good things about Cora, especially being at Converse now. Like Katie and Ashley speak great things about Illinois Wesleyan, so I
Yeah.
believe it. Lane of the year, last category. All I'm gonna say on this one is I'm glad Niner Esports got the nomination. However, how
We're not
the
winning.
hell did we get the nomination, man?
We're not winning. We're not. Look,
If we win that, I'm going to be so surprised because there's no shot that we're winning against CECC or
Yeah,
Boost of the Beach.
CECC, like that took place in the Optic Arena in Texas. How do we compete with that? And how do we compete with that?
Listen, it's the most consistent. Here's the thing, right? It's the most consistent clubland being put on in the country, in my opinion. And this might be my subjective opinion, but screw it. I don't see any other school organization putting on lens as consistently as we have that never drop in value and only keep growing in terms of size. So that's something that I think that we do deserve in terms of like commendation for. However, when you talk about some of the heavy hitters like CECC or like the College Rocket League World Championship, where they brought out schools internationally to compete at one of the Dream Hacks,
Nuts. That's nuts. How
Boost on
like
the Beach, I think, deserves it in terms of like the
that's
nomination.
unique.
I wouldn't say the win of the award, but I think the shortlist is deserved.
I
One
also
of the most
love how
creative.
I love how unique that was. Like, I'm mad I missed it. Like, I
Yeah,
unfortunately had like previous stuff to do during that time, but I easily could have gone. I'm very upset I missed it because that is a unique premise, and I hear everyone had a fantastic time. You
that's
said
a
you
bit.
looked like you had a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Everybody had
Yeah.
a great time. I mean, Rita and I were living it up. Our Rocket League team was living it up because they want to go compete with that. And every other person there was there. Shenandoah did an amazing job in putting their students into these different roles to run this tournament in a very non esportsy location, if you will.
Exactly. Yeah, like it that felt like I want to see more stuff like that, right? Because I feel like that's the way you bring esports into the general public. It becomes less of a like niche thing and more of everyone being able to say, "Oh, look at that. They're playing video games competitively."
Hmm.
Like I feel like that's an important thing that covers that not a lot of people are doing. And I personally think that that's the most unique of all of them up here.
Yeah.
CECC Texas, though, that was massive. That's as close to professional as I think collegiate will ever get.
Well, it was by hands down the biggest line of the year. I have some ballpark numbers of CCC because we're using them for our budget proposal document that I just got.
Yeah,
But like viewership, right? 110,000 total viewers with 64,000 of those being unique. So 64,000 people tuned into the broadcast throughout that weekend. Collegiate doesn't get those numbers. Attendance through the total around 3,500 people. And then the economic impact in the city of Arlington is somewhere between 1.7 to 2.1 million.
yeah,
Like
because that many teams getting hotels, that many teams getting Ubers, that many teams getting food. I want to go back to Texas just to eat, but like, and one thing that land did so right was like not didn't just go and watch people play. There were other tournaments going on in the venue. There were other things
mhm,
to do in the venue. Like it was more than just it was
collegiate.
more than just it was more than just a collegiate thing. It felt like anyone who is anyone could just walk in and enjoy it. Like you didn't have to be a student to enjoy that.
There was two different high school tournaments on top of a Smash tournament, on top of a Omega Strikers tournament, on top of the main collegiate, the four collegiate games that were there running their
Yeah.
tournament. So it's like it was the Texas State Championships was one of them, I believe. Then it was Spin hosting their like high school travel land that everybody could go to. Like Canada went there and won the Valorant for that.
Yeah, no, congrats
Um,
to them.
yeah.
That was hype.
There was, like I said, the Omega Strikers. They hosted a Smash bracket. There's something else going on that I forget what it was. They had the awards, like the CECC awards, the Esports U awards for 2023, which we won Club of the Year for that, and I got runner up for Person of the Year. I
Robbed.
think. Nah, I told y'all from the beginning, man. There's only one person that I will let get that award over me, and it was AJ, and AJ won. So shout out to him. He's doing great things. And
AJ,
then
I'm not downing on you. I have yet to meet you personally, and I'd love to.
no, it's just the fact that we want to bring it home to Charlotte is what it is, AJ. And then beyond that, it was they had Overwatch, Rocket League, and Smash for collegiate. And the top 16 teams from each of those titles came out to compete. So I think that's the most creative LAN I've ever seen in terms of the collegiate, as well as probably the biggest, most professional LAN we'll ever see for collegiate ran throughout the year
Yeah,
until
no, that
stuff catches up. But I think that deserves the award. So
yeah, no, I think I would love for us to win. I'm happy we got the nomination. I forgot the word for a second. I'm happy we got the nomination. But how are we going to compete? How are we going to compete with that? How are we going to compete with the ECC?
in terms of some other statistics going on that I just like to you know with
Yeah, rush to show.
Boise State was the most nominated school for the awards. However, the second most nominated school was UNC Charlotte. Niner Esports putting it on the map with 4 different nominations. So like I said, just a little job well done. Pake, kudos to you. Job well done. The exec board from last year, kudos to y'all. Job well done.
Still doing it out here.
Shout out Alexis. Shout out Reed. Shout out Pake. Shout out who else was in that exec board? Tyler.
Tyler,
Uh,
Lyric.
Lyric. Shout out to Lyric. We can forget the boy Lyric, but he came to Atlanta support. So everybody put in their work last year, and we made it happen. Four award nominations for UNCC. How do you feel about that?
I'm extremely happy. Like, I was worried that, there's always the thought in the back of your head that you're not going to get nominated for things like that. So, and it's just nice to see all the hard work coming out. And I also want to say, my new exec board, I'm happy to know that they are just as passionate as the last one. And they proved themselves the last land that we can keep it going.
Yeah, I popped out for a little bit to see what was going on, seeing if anybody needed help, and nobody needed help, so I kind of just walked around, chilled, took a couple pictures for them to put in for the sponsored deliverables, but it was a good
Can I
time, man.
say, I don't want to. This is not against you or anything. Do you want to know how happy I was that I didn't have to ask you for anything?
Oh, I'm glad you didn't.
I'm so happy and proud that I didn't have to ask you for anything. Like, I didn't need you to remind me of anything or anything like that. Like, yeah, you told me about like sponsor requirements, but it's like, hey, I appreciate that because then I went and did it.
No, but y'all did a good job of learning everything. I think despite the situation of almost half the exec board being out sick because of either leg stuff, COVID, or anything else that was running around, like I think y'all did great. I think that the the next one will be even better then.
Yeah, because this time we'll have everybody. We'll have everybody on deck.
Present, and you have 5 weeks to plan it, by the way. So.
Yep. No, I'm giving my team a slight break through the week, and then we're getting right back on it.
No, as you should. But other than that, I mean, Pake, what's some stuff coming up for Niner Esports? What's some stuff coming up for you?
I need to have this land date in my head.
Oh, because I already have it in my head because I put it in I'm just saying, like, November 12th.
November 12th is our next LAN party in the student union here in Charlotte. That's all. If you're not going to be in Charlotte, that's also being streamed. If you can't come out, please. If not, please tune in. We've got a bunch of other
/9.
Yep, that's it right there. All of our communities are keeping it going. Our bi-weekly Smash tournaments are attended by statewide players. Our fighting game community is getting up there too in numbers. Charlotte Showdown, if you never heard of them. Yeah, those are the big ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
We'll cover some fun stuff. We'll be having some fun little stuff. We'll do some stuff with Fortnite soon as well. So.
Oh yes, indeed.
It's gonna be some good times going on at UNCC, and beyond that, just looking for the news upcoming on the week of the 26th of the Stars Align, so of October 26th. So stay tuned in either the Niner Esports social medias, or if you're a Charlotte native, stay tuned to the news. That's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, any closing remarks you got, Pake?
I need some sleep, but other than that,
don't we all, my friend? 'Tis the life of a college student. All right.
Well, senior design is killing me just as much as esports is. At least sports is fun. At least esports, there's fun in it.
There you go. Well, shout out to everybody who tuned in. Whether you're watching on YouTube or you're tuning into one of the audio platforms, shout out to you. We will be back hopefully next week with I haven't decided who yet, but we'll see. I put out a tweet about he wanted to hop on this podcast, and I got like 40 people hitting me up about it. There was 52.
Makes me feel honored. It makes me feel honored that you asked me and I didn't reply to you on that tweet.
Hey man, I wanted to do this one for a bit. So, shout out to y'all. Make sure that y'all tune in next week. Follow all my socials at Hispanic Phenom. Follow Niner Esports at Niner Esports on literally every platform. If y'all wanna keep up with Pake, I believe your Twitter is Phoenix Cary. That's PhoenixCary.
Yep, that's me on Twitter. Instagram, I think, is at Pake Cary, Pakecary.
Keep up with the homies, and other than that, I'll catch y'all next week. Peace.